So as I said, our bodies are speaking the language of our souls. Our bodies are speaking the language of our emotions. Whether you want it or not, you feel lovesick, you feel it in your chest or in your abdomen or in your stomach. If your partner is betraying you and you feel deceived, you feel sick to your stomach, you maybe want to throw up, maybe you just have a burning chest pain, or any different other feelings like jealousy, disappointment, guilt, sadness, powerlessness, pointlessness, or the wish to die. And we can call all of them emotional pain. Of course, we can fragment and give the emotional pain every time a name in order to have more overview. And sometimes this is helpful, and sometimes this is not helpful. Since I'm going to go through talking about mostly physical part of our emotional development and the necessity of the same one, I am not going to fragment the different emotional states. I'm just going to talk about pain. Pain here, pain there. And when I talk about pain, I'm going to talk about emotional pain presented as a physical symptom or a sign. Remember my last blog, one of my last blogs, difference between symptoms and signs. You may read them and check what's the difference. So before we go further, I want you to check this beautiful view here. Just beautiful. Look. Just beautiful. We have the sun here. We have the sea. I'm twisting my wheel here so you can have a better view. And let's go. We have a long way up here. Small road. Guess how it is to drive a car down there at night with no lights. I love it. This is where you need to be dissociated from any kind of emotions in order to be cognitive enough to get down there fearless and strong and powerful. So back to the basics. We perceive, we human beings, individuals. I'm not talking about animals here, although animals have the similarities. So before I go with we, I need to show you this. You probably can see these old rocks over there. Or you don't. Let me see. See these old rocks? That was a former monastery. In the 14th century, there were 5 nuns living here. And they were supporting this upper part over there, which is called Gradina, where were soldiers located who were protecting this part of the country from the invasion of the Turkish Empire, the Ottoman Empire. So, a little bit of history. I'm going to tell you also later why a little bit of history. And now we learned a little bit about the nuns in the Starigrad Basin in Croatia. Maybe you want to Google about Croatia or check about it on Wikipedia. Now you learned a little bit about the Ottoman Empire and the conflict. You know even one sentence. Maybe you'll learn more if you follow my blog, my videos, or if you check by yourself. Get interested. Get going. Get on your bicycle. So we're individuals. We perceive our world with our eyes, with our nose, and with our bodies. Bodies is the kinesthetic level. The eyes is the visual level. You know, when you close your eyes, you can envision stuff. and you can imagine stuff. You can produce a visual fantasy. Guess what? You can even envision auditive fantasy. If you combine V and A, auditive meaning what you hear, visual meaning what you see, you're gonna have a AV, audio video fantasy in your mind. So now as I am riding my bicycle, I can do 2 things, even 3 things. I can remember how 15 years ago, 20 years ago, maybe even longer, I was very young and I was running the streets. Today I'm not allowed anymore to run, so I'm riding my bike. See, that's called utilizing. Make a chance out of a crisis because you have no choice, boy or girl. So I can remember now, 20 years ago, I was running the streets here. I was smelling the same smell of the trees around here. I was feeling the same heat. And I probably felt a bit more tired than I do today, which is strangely, I feel much more powerful today than I was back 20 years ago. But that's a part of integration and feeling the inner peace inside your soul and accepting the world as it is around you and letting all these expectations go. The more expectations you let go, the more peace you'll feel. That's the Kung Fu Panda method. Just went to see that lovely movie a couple of weeks ago with my daughter. So we perceive the world with our eyes, with our bodies, and with our ears. And as I said, I can remember what I did on this street with all these 3 levels of perception. I can even remember the smell and compare it to today. It's the same. So the only thing is different, it's the physical activity, it's the kinesthetic level, because I was running. There was much more shaking around 20 years ago. Today I'm bicycling, it's much more smoother, and it keeps me away from different kind of objective pain I might be in. So, when we remember, we regress, we go back in history. And guess what? When we remember location, meaning I am on a location where I was 20 years ago, and I'm remembering automatically, which means my emotions, feelings, memories are anchored to this location, to this street, to this sun, to this smell, to the food, to the people, to the looks, to the sea, to the salt, to the sunset, to all these small diamonds reflecting on the surface of the sea, to this sweating. So I'm going back in time. So I could go back in time and remember all the bad stuff, or I could go back in time and choose to remember all the good stuff. In order to be able to do that, I need to know who I am, where I'm going, and what do I want. I need to have inner peace, inner power, and inner strength to chase away all unnecessary expectations that produce emotional pain, which again, I would feel in my chest, in my abdomen, in my hands, maybe in my legs. And they could show themselves through my body, also through shaking, shivering, or inner tension. Like there is something that should happen and it is not happening, and I have no idea what should happen. Oh my God, when only this would I have no idea what should happen could happen. So just basically an idea to feel bad and not focused. So one of the aims of getting on your bicycle is to sweat, to use your legs, use your hands, and just stay focused. And the point is that our minds are messy. Minds are messy so many times. So it takes 4, 5, 6 hours sometimes to get your mind clean. You know, to sweat out all the jealousy thoughts, all the painful thoughts of people you lost, all the ideas of wanting things and actions, emotions and words that you'll never get. Yeah, nice if you get them. Basically, most of the time you don't. So, life's frustrating in so many ways. And it's up to us whether we're gonna allow ourselves to decide to ride the bicycle and be focused on the bike ride and be productive for ourselves and think about interesting stuff while on a bike ride. Or guess what? Think about the bike ride. You know, check this beautiful view over there and be there with the sea. Only you, the sea, the sun. You, the blue and the sun. You, the road and the upcoming car.